So good morning, everyone, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you my work about adaptation to climate change, transformations of Tunisian farming systems, and resilience to drought. So it's really a specific study, and our start point was about the decision-making process, which is usually dependent on environmental factors such as climate change, institutional and political factors, economic, social, and demographic factors. So here, our decision-making process is about the conversion of field crop area into olive trees area. So it's an orientation that we have seen in a governorate from semi-arid Tunisian region. So the first hypothesis is that we estimate that this decision is due to these factors, and we need to analyze it and to know more about the real reasons. So then we think deeply about agroecology, which ameliorate biodiversity, promote farm profitability and yield. It also increases resilience to climate change. And we said that maybe this form of decision or orientation done by farmers or even done by a Tunisian state, because it's also a strategy to increase the number of olive trees in my country. So it could be also a step for an agroecological system. Maybe it's a small step, but it may have has a big significance. So we started by really searching where are this area converted, and through the mapping approach, here we have two maps. The first one is show the agricultural map of the region dating in 2000, the year of 2000, and we see here two colors. The yellow one presenting the field crop, and the green, the dark green, is the olive trees. In the second map, we did the same work, but for the year 2015, and here we can see three colors. So the yellow one is the old field crop area, which is still the same. The dark green is also the old olive trees area, and the third green, which is light. So here it's the superposition, because here we superposed two maps. The first one for 2000 and 2015, and here we have the areas converted. So here we have the possibility to go to this area and talk to farmers through a questionnaire. To know more realities about this, we adopt a methodology, which is a field survey that we conducted with 61 farmers, a description of farmer situation, multiple correspondence analysis, which gave us many types of decision reasons, and finally the linear model. As a primary results, there is many primary results, but I will only focus on the most important one. So the educational level. Usually when we think about the educational level, we think also about the degree of consciousness of farmers, but it's not a general truth. Sometimes it's not the case. And here we have a mixed group. So we have illiteracy, primary, secondary, or high level. So we have different level of educational, but here the most important one are the high level and the secondary level. So it may make sense. The agricultural area is also important because, as you know, in a small area, the field crops is not very profitable. We need more to convert it to another more profitable culture, like olive trees or any other types. So the income is also important, the off-farm income. I mean, there is other people which are not farmers in the origin, but they also practice the agriculture. Also the presence or absence of livestock. So here, like you see, the more we have livestock, I think there is something missing. There is something missing here, but okay, it's no problem. So the more we have livestock, the less the conversion is present. So they keep the areas to feed this livestock and to produce elementary for them. So using the multiple correspondence analysis, we have 4 different groups of farmers, and here we have different characteristics, but maybe we can group them into 4 different groups. So the first one is the orange, circled in orange. These farmers are living far from their farms, so they cannot be present all the time in their farms. So the field crop needs to be we do multiple, let's say, intervention during the process of culture, maybe in treatment and after when we collect the cereal, all of this. So they decide to convert to olive trees, which doesn't need any intervention, so they leave it, and when it's the season to collect it, they come from their homes. So here it's a totally conversion. It's a very significant one. The blue circled group. So here, this group, they have difficult like unavailability of pesticides, of fertilizer, or maybe mechanization. They have many problems. So here they say that they have to diversify their activity, but they didn't convert all the crops, all the area, but only a small percentage. So the black group have a large area, and no, I'm sorry, just a moment. Black one. So no, the black one, they have small areas, so it's not really profitable to them to do a field crop. They need olive trees in order to field the crop, to find to rise their incomes. And the third group is a strange one, because they don't even know why they did convert the area from field crop to olive trees, but they are only influenced by their neighbor and about the general context in the country. So here, the common thing between these 4 groups is that they want to increase their income. They want sometimes to escape from drought or from any other factors that make their activity very difficult. But this decision to go from a culture which is consuming chemical products, consuming maybe energy and time, to another one which is adapted to climate change. It doesn't need many chemical treatment or pesticides or fertilizer. It's somehow agroecological, but I think most of you started to think about the question that what could be happen if 10 years further after, if we don't find field crops in Tunisia, which is consumer of this cereal, and we need these crops to the alimentary of livestock. So it's very dangerous. So here it's a negative effect, and this farmers needs to be guided, needs to have many advices. And here is the second part of the work, which is the intervention with creating an NGO in Tunisia and try to introduce good agricultural practices to these farmers and try to make them conscient about the climate change danger and about the real agroecology, so that they can have a more efficient system and they can also increase their incomes. Here, the agroforestry, which is based on mixing trees with crops, with the vegetary, and with also livestock. So its benefits, and our colleague spoke about plant sociology and connection. So here, this system doesn't need any fertilization or any pesticide, because it's complementary, and there is less sicknesses, less disease. So here it's more efficient. Other practices like immersion, like also irrigation techniques based on traditional clay oils, and also the meslan, which is a mix between leguminous, fodder, cereal, and its benefit to the soil and a good ratio for the livestock. So agriculture is an activity that uses natural resources, but it's also a threatening element for these resources when it's not responsible. So nowadays, the overuse of natural research in all sectors like agriculture, transport, manufacturing, etc., and the different types of pressure caused by human beings have destroyed the ecosystem and the biodiversity on which agriculture is dependent. Thus, to solve this sector, it's important to protect and regenerate the environment and on natural resources. Farmers have already conscious about this danger, so they began the adaptation, but in another responsible way and out of rules. So here, therefore, development projects that aims to introduce good agricultural practices are important and complementary to research work. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Amira. Yeah, questions of clarification? Please, Leonard. Sure, microphone.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, when they transitioned to olives, a big question that always came up in Tunisia was water. Did they also transition to irrigation then? And maybe follow-up question, do you have a concept of the role of water in agroecological systems in your mind? Like, what's sustainable irrigation?
Okay. So here, of course, okay. Please respond. Okay, so olive trees, when it's planted in an intensive way, it's also not ecological, and maybe the farmer needs to irrigate it from the underground water, and which is also an issue that we have to avoid. So here we start. I told you that it's an irresponsible way of adaptation to climate change, but it could be agroecological system, unless if we do introduction or introduce the real practices that put the trees with the space between one of other, and also we can practice agriculture between it. So it's not anymore a water issue, because the olive trees are more adapted to drought. Okay, about the sustainable agriculture or agroecological system, is that it's continue to give you a good income, but it also doesn't destroy the factor of production, like resources, like what we need to produce.